So a couple of things that I want to talk about. First of all, a couple of things that you will need. Okay, so maybe Airbrush Essentials. So there's going to be a bunch of links, like a shopping list and whatnot. So a couple of I don't think I've addressed this. Maybe I've talked about it a little bit in some other videos, but I think this is important, especially if you're starting out. Okay, so the first thing, and that's one thing oh, there it is. I talked about this in the start airbrushing video. Is that it? No, in the paint thinning video, I talked about this. So the first thing you want to get if you're starting airbrush is plastic, transparent little plastic cups. This is I don't know, like pills or something, but you want to get a bunch of those, like a pile. If you have access to these, get those. Otherwise, you go to like the dollar store or the link below, and there's gonna be like 100 little plastic shot glasses, and they're transparent. And the key is them being transparent. Okay, I talked about this in the thinning down video, so we're not going to get. But this is like the ultimate like tool. It's gonna cost you next to nothing, and it saves you like so much trouble. Okay, so much trouble. So you get those, and then gloves. I really like gloves for like airbrushing in general, just because I don't, it's gonna get on your hands, and then you're wearing gloves, you get a little more. You're a little bit less risk averse, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna do this, but I don't want to get paint on my hands, or whatever. Just get gloves. It is so like I wear them for the stream, but for airbrushing I always wear them anyway, and especially if you're using like weird like cleaners or thinners and whatnot, or even like just weird like oil paints and whatever toxic thing. Just why risk it? It does. Another thing, it's like hardly like even the cheap one. I think the blue ones are I buy the black one just for the stream really, but I think the blue ones are like super cheap, like much cheaper and then the same thing. So get gloves, get a mask, any kind of a mask. So again, I'm streaming, so usually I don't wear one because I don't stream for a long time. But whenever I do armies and stuff, I always wear one. These are the cheaper one, like the N95 or something. But you can get any type of thing, and depending on like the type of cleaner and thinner that you use, you might need a bigger deal. Like if you use only water or even water-based like thinners, just get like a cheap one like this. Usually works. You have to read the little labels and stuff. But if you're using like real hardcore stuff like 90 plus percent alcohol, the glass cleaner like I'm using, or simple green as a really good airbrush cleaner, you need the real deal. Like buy a bigger mask with the little like changeable filters. Get you one of those for sure. That's like nothing is, even if you're using like non-toxic stuff, nothing is good. Nothing good has ever come out about like vaporizing paint and like other chemicals, even the non-toxic kind. So yeah, and like chances are that you must have like a couple of those lying around nowadays. So you might as well use them. And then third thing is get paper towels, and then that's the thing. If you've watched the stream, you know this. We're about to airbrush now, but if you watch the stream, like paper towels. Obviously, there's not going to be a link to those. Get any kind. But what I like to do is I get like a couple of sheets first, and always get them ready beforehand. Okay, you don't want to be pulling these while you have an airbrush with paint on them. Just get like a handful ready for you. So I'll do, I don't know, 6, 5. And then these are the smaller kind of like sheets, like the halvesies almost. So I would cut them this way, and then I also cut them that way. So then this is like a usable content. So I like this quantity. So get those ready, get them out there. They're just a little bit sturdier than like tissues, so that's great. And then the other really neat thing, I don't have one here because I just dump all my stuff in a little cup. But getting a little the little cleaning station or the overspray station, that's like really great. That's a really great tool. It don't cost a lot. You can usually you get like a movable place where you can leave your airbrush there. So that's a really good little pickup. It's been like now when we're recording this is like almost Christmas time. So the holidays. That's how you say it. It's almost the holidays, so you get You can get you one of these, like it's a great like stuffing stuffer, stocking stuffer. That's hard to say. So yeah, a little airbrush cleaning station or whatever. It's just a great thing because you can spray any extra without having to dump it in, or spray it in your hands or whatever, even though you're wearing gloves. So these are really like kind of the essential things that you need, and then a couple of extra stuff that you can get if you have like multiple airbrush. You're starting like to get a little collection. Get quick connects and get the adapter. It's 7-piece adapter set. Man, I don't have one lying around here, but like we're using one. We're using the piece right there, the gold piece over there. Money. Yeah, it makes any connector work with any airbrush. It's just the best thing ever. Get one of those, at least one. You probably end up buying one for every airbrush just because it's practical. And then the quick connect is really fun if you have one compressor and then a bunch of airbrush, because you can just like unclip this one without losing any of the pressure and stuff. So that's really good. So these are like really nice nice little tools there, and then you can get like a spray boot station. Usually these things cost a lot, by the way. Like this is a good like DIY stuff, like a spray station or spray booth or what have you. Like you can MacGyver those pretty easily because they cost like a freaking fortune. But more often than not, unless you're using like a spray gun in a very small room, because the spray gun like it fires like crazy and then you get the fumes, you really don't need a spray booth for anything like this. In this piece we're just using this cardboard, but because we're always spraying in a downward motion, it all lands on there, and this is more enough for like the regular acrylic paints. So even if I needed one, I would probably make it myself instead of buying one. That's one of the rare things I would consider building. I'm usually more of a buyer than a builder type of person when if I have a choice. Then again, I don't prime a lot of stuff, so maybe if you're primer intensive, maybe that's more for you. But that's a really good, like, really interesting thing. I think if you feel like you need one, like, then you get one. But that's not something you should get.